What's going on, guys? It's Ben here from BH Aquatics, and in today's video we're actually going to be looking at Ramshorn snails. Now, the reason why we're looking at these guys in particular is because I think that they're actually really cool. In school on them, and for such a simple gastropod to keep, such a simple aquarium snail to keep, they actually, there's quite a bit about them that is pretty cool. I mean, they're asexual, meaning that they basically can reproduce themselves and they'll lay eggs every 2 to 3 weeks. This is the main reason why this tank literally has so many of them. I mean, if we come in, zoom in on this tank here, you see a Ramshorn snail back there. All of these little reddish brown things all over this tank. Every little dot you see on the back there, those are all baby Ramshorn snails. That big one in the back corner there, that is also a Ramshorn snail. That has just been growing over time, and you know, hopefully is reproducing itself asexually as they do. These guys grow in ponds, they grow in aquariums, they're very prolific, and there's lots of them. You can get brown Ramshorn snails, red Ramshorn snails, and potentially albino Ramshorn snails if you get lucky. Somebody in the Northeast Council of Aquarium Societies, I'm just joking, not that, New England Fancy Guppies Association is working on trying to get albino Ramshorn snails right now. But this is just one tank that I currently don't have anything in, and you can just see there's tons and tons of Ramshorn snails everywhere. They're really easy upkeep, and because they're snails and they feed off everything, that they are able to. Precisely this one that we were looking at in the beginning is right now feeding off the leftover food that has decomposed on the ground, and it is helping it to decompose, further its decomposition. Not only in this tank, I mean, if you move on to this next one, I have another Ramshorn snail, large one, pretty good sized one, just coming up the side there. I have another one down there on the wall. It's just giving you proof that they are very prolific. I mean, my fry tank for my blue albino topaz, look at all of them. I mean, they line the walls, they line the bottom, you know, you see them everywhere. Every single black dot except for the little babies in that fry tank are Ramshorn snails. And these guys, you can actually make a couple of dollars off of them at auction. So let's say you be like me and you actually have these tanks separate. I actually have, because of my science fair project at school, I have this 10-gallon, this 5-gallon, and this other 10-gallon separated completely for the future research that I want to do on these snails to potentially breed different variations, such as the albino and the red Ramshorn snails, to potentially make more profit at auctions. Since they are so prolific, I might as well take advantage of that. And when I get, you know, a dozen, 2 dozen large ones like this one in the back corner of this tank, I can put them all into a bag, maybe a dozen per bag, and you know, they will sell. I've seen them sell for $3 to $5 a bag of a dozen Ramshorn snails, and the variations have sold for $5 to $10. There's actually a pretty big market for these, and if you know what you're doing, they're actually really cool. They make quite a bit of profit. I really enjoy they're a huge part to my cleanup crew, and I think that they would do an excellent job for many other people, and I'm sure many other people have them just because many plants that you buy from pet stores actually are carrying Ramshorn snails already, because they are one of the most common variations of snails. So brown Ramshorn snails, sometimes you get red Ramshorn snails. I have one red Ramshorn snail down in the bottom corner of this Steel Nebula guppy tank, you know, I'm hoping that they will reproduce and then I can sell different variations. Now, another cool thing about these Ramshorn snails that I found really intriguing is that their snail shells are actually, they have ingredients in the snail shells, it's some makeup of the snail shell exoskeleton that actually works as a mental filtration system. So like, when water goes in and out, since they are snails that are submerged, As you can see, they can also be unsubmerged. I mean, this one is not in water clearly, and it is still living. But when they are submerged, their snail shells, exoskeletons, do work as filtration systems, and that's what makes them such a good. And that's what makes them such a good basic organism for your cleanup crew. That's particularly why I chose it, and that's why I have so much of them and decided not to go and buy assassin snails to kill them all off like some people do. As I said, this is just a video all about the Ramshorn snails. As you can tell, this is pretty much off-the-cuff video, just like most of my videos. So I'm not really following a script. It's all based on facts that I've learned from my science fair project so far, and based on personal experience with these guys. Definitely, if you're thinking about getting rid of them with assassin snails and stuff like that, I hope this video maybe makes you change be a pest in a big tank if they're covering the walls and you're looking to have a nice aquascape without all of these extra snails all over the place. They can be quite a bother, but if you transfer them to another tank or even a breeder box, hang-on breeder box, or an in-tank breeder box, they can definitely bring in a lot more profit for your fish room if you get them going to the magnitude that I have them in my tanks. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, all about Ramshorn snails. If you like this kind of video, I'm sure I'm going to come out with some like this in the future. If you guys request it, I'll do anything about the fish that I have in my fish room. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If so, make sure you like, subscribe, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.